Welcome to Realtree Global Hunting on Team Wild TV, home of the best hunting videos from across the globe. This week, we're back in Hungary with our good friends at Wonderheart and on the trail of a beautiful Mouflon ram. As usual, we're out early and on foot. We've not gotten far when we spot a wild boar feeding in the nearby fields. And just a little further up the road, there's a rhodo on the crest of the hill. These guys aren't what we're looking for today, but it's always encouraging to see any type of game whilst out stalking. We move on and spook the doe. As we glass the nearby fields from the top of the hill, we can see there's more animals on the move.
So, behind me, about 600 yards away, there's a young Mouflon ram. Now he's only about half cull, he's quite a young one, maybe a couple of years old. And he stood out in the field with a pretty big tusker, pretty big wild boar. But we're looking for something mature, something past breeding age, so he's still yet got his prime years. So we're going to move on and see if we can see something else. It's great to see they're here though.
A little further across the hill, we climb into a high seat to gain a better view of the surrounding area. We continue on our way across the edge of this field at the top of the hill, but we haven't been vigilant enough. We spook a herd of Mouflon and they make a dash for it over the brow of the hill.
So there's a lesson for you. Always make sure you check every nook and cranny of the field. We've walked all the way around and there's just one small hollow in this field we didn't check, and that's the result. And sheep don't hang around. When they're going to go, they're going to go. The great thing is there is a nice big mature ram right in the centre there. That's a really strong herd. There's 4 or 5 pretty impressive rams, but one in particular is probably past where he needs to be, so we're going to go try and sneak in and take him out. Now, the problem with sheep is they could run for hours or they could just run across the other side of this hill. Nobody really knows, so just a little bit patient. We now know they're there and we're going to have to stalk very carefully, glassing all the way, see if we can get a shot at this herd.
Zoltan takes us down the side of the woodland. The thinking is that if they run down the hill and come back around, this is a good vantage point from which to take a shot. But unfortunately, they don't come our way. We head further down into the wooded area in search of the herd. Our local guide has spotted something through the bushes. We can hear the sound of running sheep. I get into a position to shoot and the herd come hurtling by, but before I can get a shot off, they're gone.
So near yet so far. Now we've come down, clearly they know exactly where to run here. They've got their little pathways through the woods, and we could hear them rutting, fighting just across this rise here. Now the ewes had split off, they'd run slightly to our right already and we could hear them, we knew they were there. And I could see the white saddle of a big mature male stood right in front of me. His head was in the bushes and he was concentrating on the ram on the other side. We could hear them knocking and fighting and jousting amongst each other. There's 5 or 6 of them in total, all fighting. They didn't really pay much attention. We got within 30 yards. But then always one of them with that many sets of eyes, sooner or later they're going to see you. As soon as they saw us, that was it. They all headed off. Just one split second and I could have got a shot away, but we're getting closer.
We move on once again and spot a nice roebuck as he darts over the hill, away from us. Then, a little further down the road, there's a young boar brazenly sat on the edge of the field. We head on once again, and at the edge of the field we spot 2 young mouflon feeding away. They're a little too young for us, so we leave them to graze on and continue in search of the rest of the herd. At the top of the hill, our guide takes us along the field's edge, and we take a seat, waiting patiently.
Okay, so the mouflon we saw earlier on laid down in the field just over this ridge. Now the problem is, the ram is facing towards us, hasn't seen us, but there's a cow with him that has. And there's another younger ram which is looking out. So there's no cover here, they're only about 90 yards away, so the shot is there. But they have to stand first. Clearly we're on the wrong side of the hill. But more importantly, if we make them stand, they're just going to run, so we may have to wait it out.
Unfortunately, our plan doesn't work, so we move down the field, through the thick stuff, and come around the other side. But we've already been spotted. All eyes are on us from the top of the hill. 6 mouflons standing and staring in our direction.
So as you can see, this group behind us has got a lot of youngsters in it, and the ram that's in there is probably only a couple of years old. Now they look slightly confused. That would tell me that there must be a bigger group of older sheep somewhere. You know, maybe it's a group of 5 rams that we saw earlier on. They're not moving too far, they're waiting for something. So I've got a sneaking suspicion the other ones aren't too far away.
We continue on. Just around the corner, and there's a nice ram on the brow of the hill, but he's gone before we can even think about taking a shot. There's so much game in these parts today, and they all seem to be out. There's a group of red stags on the next hilltop, and a small wild boar right in our path just around the corner. He doesn't look too bothered with us and continues on his way when he's ready. On the crest of the hill, there's another young red stag feeding away, and he too doesn't seem concerned. It's day 2 of our epic mouflon ram hunt in Hungary with Wonderheart, and this time we've decided to take to the woods. It's autumn and there's fallen leaves everywhere. But luckily the damp conditions have softened the leaves and therefore muffled the sound of our footsteps. We glass the dense woodland and it isn't long before we see a group of mouflon, but one of them spotted us first. We edge closer, hoping not to spook them, and they continue to feed and play at ease. But then they're off, running and butting heads.
So as you can see, we got pretty close, maybe 150 yards. They were banging heads, butting heads like nobody's business, just chasing each other around, trying to get dominance in that herd. The rut is coming up fast. But unfortunately our guide isn't quite as fleet of foot as we'd like, so one broken branch and that's it. They all head for the hills. But we're getting closer.
We move through the woodland a little further, hoping that they haven't gone too far, and that as they run, play and fight, they'll come back in our direction. Luckily, we can hear them coming our way, so I get into position for a shot. 2 rams come trotting our way and stop, looking straight at us. But with them front on and one behind the other, there's no safe shot. I follow them across the woodland, but no shot presents itself. There's 3 good rams sparring in the woodland. If we stay quiet and still and hidden as best we can, they may come our way. We wait and bide our time. Any movement could spook them and see them making a run for it across the forest. But by sitting still in our Realtree AP, we're concealed in the dense brown woodland. Our patience pays dividends, and 2 of the 3 rams stop broadside in a small clearing in front of us. I pick my ram and take my shot. The shot is good, but the ram still runs. Sheep are incredibly tough animals.
He's down, he's going down.
But our ram has not gone far before he hits the ground.
Just wait. After a lot of walking and a lot of waiting, a lot of patience, we finally managed to outsmart these buggers. That's a beautiful ram. He's down. I'm pretty happy. The other 2 are stood round him at the moment. So obviously these ones have been so preoccupied with rutting that they didn't really pay much attention to us. But he's down, I'm happy with the shot. Let's go and have a look at him. Yes. Beautiful ram, huh? It's very handsome.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So, thank you very much. Thank you.
Fantastic. Hunting day.
Hunting day, what a beautiful ram.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now the shot's absolutely spot on perfect, yeah?
Absolutely.
So he's got really big long curls coming in. That's a very, very handsome animal there.
Yeah.
Very, very beautiful. Nice winter coat, deep white saddle on him. He's in great shape. It's taken us a little while to get here, lots of walking, lots of stalking, lots of near misses, lots of being outsmarted by sheep, but finally it's worth the wait. Now at this time of year, obviously their coat here, as you can see, is absolutely beautiful, nice and luscious, the deep white saddle that they got there. Obviously this one's a little dirty, had a roll round in the muck after I'd shot him. But otherwise he's in great condition. You can feel in the body there's loads of grazing here, there's loads of lush vegetation, and here in Hungary these Mouflon really do thrive. Now look at this massive curl on him, he's absolutely breathtaking. Now this is a great example. Obviously it's not particularly big really when you consider Mouflon. This is probably going to be about 75 centimeters in length. They grow up to a meter, huge monsters. But this I'm really pleased with. For me, the quality of hunt, it's about the chase, it's about spending time out in the open, it's about trying to outsmart the animal in its own environment. This one, or the group of these ones, had the better of us for such a long time. But as you can see, he's gone down. Perfect shot, thanks to the M77, 180 grain Hornady interlocks. They do the same job on elk, moose, mule deer, and now Mouflon ram. So really pleased with the results. Thanks ever so much to Wonderheart for giving me the opportunity for you to book your Hungarian hunting adventure of a lifetime. Visit wonderheart.co.uk. In the meantime, we're going to get this bad boy back, get him skinned up, and then hopefully lamb is back on the menu.
Subscribe to Team Wild TV for the best hunting, airgun, gear and bow hunting videos on YouTube.